All right. all right. Let me see. So, yes, welcome to the Voice from Heaven. So here was Beethoven speaking to us. And we must have danced on this for centuries, a long time. It's so familiar. And it feels so happy. So we were, say, listening to the contra dances of Beethoven. And they are stimulating, have the vibration of dance, of movement, of yes, well, let's allow some rebirth. Why not? It's like in the middle of our transformational process, here's a relief. Like, oh yeah, we can move a little bit. Yes, no, it's not what you think it is. No, that's already gone. Now here we are. Here we are, here we are, here we are. Wow. So this is a great gift and it's just coming to us. It's always brand new. I cannot say anything else. It's like I cannot make this up. I cannot say make this work or anything. Like, no, this has to be completely given to me, otherwise it wouldn't happen. Simple as that. So thank you, Beethoven, for an out-of-time dance with us. Really great, wonderful. So today in the Voice of From Heaven, chapter 18, where we continue with the dream and the reality. There's a part where the instruction becomes very, 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 very specific. Specific in the sense of which part is yours, which part is God's. Like which part, how much can I prepare for an holy instant, for instance? Like how much can I do for that? Is there really, is there some demand that is being made on me to let that occur, or how do I need to look on that to make that in fact accessible to me? Because I can of course be in the way too to let this happen. Now that cannot be the purpose. Now, so specific instruction in this is very helpful, just to make it easy for you and all the things you don't have to do for it, for instance, and see that, oh yeah, this is given to you. No, you can only do this much. You can only go this far. You only have to, say, prepare yourself to this, but not more. No, that would be in the way. So this is the instruction that we're going to receive today. And as it is given in, say, in the voice that is speaking to us in A Course in Miracles, which is a voice from out of time, a resurrected mind, out of body, Jesus Christ of Nazareth is speaking to us in the first person, directly to us. And this is, well, it's amazing that we can receive this, of course. And it takes you out of the construct that you're in, because, yeah, if you want to enter into this holy instant, you could say, here's your opportunity, and here's the practice of expanding this holy instant, making it come back in everything that is occurring. And not that you control it, but you can definitely invite it. Yeah, like I said, it's asking for specific instruction. Now, we have also Master Teacher coming over to share with us about, say, expanding the holy instant. And so it's all related to the holy instant, you could say, the moment in which you recognize that this isn't and only this is. Like my communication with my Creator is the only real thing about me. The rest will never work because it is not even there, in fact. So, yeah. So interesting enough, like to discover more and more that the thing in your mind's construct, in your psyche, you could say, that was always judging or evaluating, seems to have gone too. Like There's nothing that evaluates anything. At a certain point you discover it's gone. Like my mind is gone. I cannot evaluate myself. I have no idea. Like that part is really gone. Interestingly enough. And it makes it a lot easier. Because what are all your considerations about yourself doing? In fact, they put you in doubt or in fear. You can choose. But they will never contribute to what it already is. Now, this is in fact like a high Zen tradition. Not being in the way. No, letting this moment be complete. And everything that seems to be in the way, allowing that to literally dissolve. To let it melt, in other words. And this has an impact on everything that you have thought about yourself, your physicality, the way that your relationships are, like all of this, because in fact you have used time to make this construct. Now if you release the time idea continuously, not grasping back to the past, for instance, not trying to hold on to the past and making something work that worked yesterday too, and why isn't it working today? That kind of thing. If you allow that to be changed, you have a great chance to end up right here with me in this moment, in this holy instant that we share. Because in fact, I'm not determining anything about how it should look. I'm not filling in how this is supposed to be. I'm not forcing anything in this instant, recognizing that that would only be arrogance. No, receiving what is given, seeing that the plan for my salvation is working 24/7. It doesn't need my concern. It doesn't need my, like it's happening to me, in other words. And this plan of salvation is so perfectly written for you that literally you only have to let that occur to you. Now, no matter how that is looking, because how is it looking? Well, if you observe yourself in how the process is looking, how things are going, then it looks disastrous. Then it looks like a total failure. Or it looks like, well, it seems to be that I'm going more backward in this than that there's any development, right? You recognize this from yourself. In other words, this self-evaluation is not going to give you accurate information. No, the holy instant brings you back into centering inside yourself, like centering into the center of your being, you could say, in which you don't need an evaluation. You just say are open for the communication. And communication is not one way and then one way down, one way up, or something like this. No, it's instantaneous. It is immediately there. There's no time in between. So it's like you get immediately, you get a response. It is literally happening at the same time. You're willing to receive this, it is immediately given. It is the confirmation of your willingness. It says somewhere in the text too. It's like the fact that it happens is the confirmation that you want it. Because it's instantaneous. It's not like you ask for it and it will come one day. No, no. The moment that you're willing, it can happen, and it happens, and it did happen. So, yeah, let's dive into the text of the urtext of Course in Miracles, chapter 18, the part that has the title "The Little Willingness." And there are some beautiful expressions that will come to us. It has a great instructive value, you could say. It's so beautiful to receive this. So bear with me, please. The little willingness. The holy instant. See, here it is already. It's like the holy instant is the result of your determination to be holy. The holy instant is the result, like the immediate result of your determination to be holy. It is the answer. The desire and the willingness to let it come precede its coming. The desire and the willingness to let it come precede its coming. You prepare your minds for it only to the extent of recognizing that you want it above all else. That's the only way you can prepare your mind for it. It is not necessary, here it says, it is not necessary that you do more. Indeed, it is necessary that you realize that you cannot do more. So I'll go through this one more time, because this holds, in fact, the whole section of the little willingness. The holy instant is the result of your determination to be holy. It is the answer. The desire and the willingness to let it come precede its coming. You prepare your minds for it only to the extent of recognizing that you want it above all else. All else. You want it above all else. That's all. It is not necessary that you do more. Indeed, it is necessary that you realize that you cannot do more. Do not attempt to give the Holy Spirit what he does not ask, or you will add the ego unto him and confuse the two. He asks but little. It is he who adds the greatness and the might. He joins with you to make the holy instant far greater than you can understand. So do not attempt to give the Holy Spirit what he does not ask, or you will add the ego unto him and confuse the two. He asks but little. It is he who adds the greatness and the might. He joins with you to make the holy instant far greater than you can understand. It is your realization that you need to do so little that enables him to give so much. Trust not your good intentions. They are not enough. But trust implicitly your willingness. Whatever else may enter, concentrate only on this, and be not disturbed that shadows surround it. This is why you came. If you could come without them, you would not need the holy instant. Okay, so now we're even getting deeper into this. So it is your realization that you need to do so little that enables him to give so much. So this is really important. It's like, no, this is easier than you think. You only need to want this, you could say, above all else. And whatever clouds are hanging around that idea, that's fine. Don't give it any, don't worry on it. Don't worry about that. But focus on what it is that you want. Concentrate only on the fact that you want this above all else. And then it can change. The concentration on that is sufficient. So this is why it is like this. Maybe I give you a metaphor, because metaphors always seem to work pretty well. So it's like you're in darkness, right? You're in darkness, surrounded by dark clouds of separation, of body identification, about conflict of whatever sort. You know the scenario. As a human being, you're full of that. Like, there's so much coming at you by your own choice, of course. But anyway, so it's like now you have this one focus above all else. I want to experience my holiness, in fact. I want to experience an holy instant above all else. Everything else can be taken from me. I don't care what the effect of that would be, but this is what I want. I want to discover, in fact, who I truly am. I want to discover for a moment how it is to let go of everything else. Now that is my focus. I keep myself on that. So it's like with my little torch, with my little, say, lamp, I put, like, I literally, say, focus my attention on this one word, holiness, and I shine on it. I shine on it with my torch. And suddenly it becomes clear, like, okay, there's a lot of darkness, but my light is there. I want that. I don't want anything else. Now that can be as dark as it wants, but this is your focus. Now this is what it means here. So it's like seeing as with a torchlight in darkness. You walk through the forest, but there's only one word that you want, and you shine on it, and you keep there. It's your little cabin in the woods, you could say. You keep focusing on that to reach that. Concentrate only on this and be not disturbed that shadows surround it. That is why you came. If you come without them, you would not need the holy instant. So it's like these shadows are not there. No, they are there. That's why you need the holy instant. If you still think that you're in the middle of a dark forest, you could say, with all kinds of... If you still think that you're in a dark forest with all kinds of temptations around you and being distracted continuously on your path to your little cabin, you see that it doesn't give you anything. Like, you get distracted and nothing will happen. You will not even find it, you could say. But now here it is. You focus on one point and you forget about the rest, but you know what you want. So this is exactly the occurrence. It's in fact like that's why you need a holy instant. If you realize that there is no temptation and no darkness, you would not need the holy instant. Then all that would be gone. Come to it, not in arrogance, assuming that you must achieve the state its coming brings with it. Come to it not in arrogance, assuming that you must achieve the state its coming brings with it. It's like you can do nothing in this. You can only be willing to receive that. It's like by knowing exactly your place in that, it can be given to you. Recognizing the little that you can give and the greatness that will come to you by your willingness to step back, in fact. So the miracle of the holy instant lies in your willingness to let it be what it is, not to force it to be what you want it to be. No, to let it be what it is. And in your willingness for this lies also your acceptance of yourself as you were meant to be. Now this is what I meant in the beginning. It's like, this is in fact a moment in which you start to recognize yourself as you are. Not as how you want yourself to be, no, as you are. So it's like, of yourself as you were meant to be. So that is the great recognition. Humility will never ask that you remain content with littleness, but it does require that you be not content with less than greatness, which comes not of you. Otherwise it would be a glorification for the ego. No, no, no. No, this greatness which comes not of you. Your difficulty with the holy instant arises from your fixed conviction that you are not worthy of it. And what is this but a determination to be as you would make yourself? That's essential, right? So in fact is the holy instant the healing of that. The healing of the idea that you're not worthy of it. No, this is given to you. You don't have to prove it. It's like, so it's like here it is like, yes, I'm worthy of that. In fact, that declaration comes as an experience to you. It's like, no, you're worthy of it. The only hesitation that you can have is that you think you're not worthy of it. How can it then be given to you if you want to prove to yourself that you're not worthy of it? Now, that's why this is so subtle and so... It's like you are uncertain about yourself if you're worthy of it. So what do? You compensate. You overdo it, in fact. You do too much in order to make it happen. That at least that is what you can give to yourself, is what you think. But that doesn't work like that. No, this is a state in which, in fact, everything is already set. You don't have to force anything, don't have to make anything. No, you made of yourself something that doesn't seem to be worthy of holiness. Well, that needs to come down. That is arrogance, in fact. As if you could make yourself into something else that isn't holy. So here's the recognition in all quiet and in all peace and all restfulness that you can come up with, you could say. And that is this, it's like you allow yourself to in fact, there's an humility moment with yourself. You start to recognize, I'm worthy of this. I'm accepting this. I recognize my holiness. Finally, I come to the point where I allow that to come to me. I want that to be shown to me, what it actually is. And whatever idea I had before, whatever seemed to come to distract me from my focus, what I let myself be tempted to think about myself will disappear. I'll let this go for now, because I want to experience the holy instant. Because it's literally given to me. Now I don't have to prepare myself more than being willing, and the might and power, you could say, of my Holy Spirit, of the Holy Spirit that works in me, through me, will confirm this holiness as a total experience for myself in an holy instant. Now this is the training that we do, is in fact what we get ready for. Because when that starts to happen, you recognize your holiness, and you recognize that you were already created perfectly. There's nothing that needs to be, say, added to that. I don't have to overdo it. I don't have to come to an extreme practice in order to make this work. No, that is total arrogance. You think you need to do something to prove your holiness? Don't make me laugh. So it's like that recognition needs to be there. So it's very, in that sense, it's very laid back. To use that terminology, it's very laid back. This comes to you easily in the recognition that it's given to you. You're worth it. It is literally created as you. So you come to the realization of who you are, not who you are going to be or something. It's like, no, this is how you already are. This is how you were created. And this is how you will be, how you always will be and always have been. The only thing was that in this little nightmare that you created, you had to prove to yourself that you were worthy of it, that you had to work hard to come to your holiness, that you appear to be this guilty, sinful little monster, you could say, that is hiding from God because of the assumed punishment that you expect to happen, that is lurking around every corner. Now that is not the right vision, you could say. That has nothing to do with how you were created. So in fact it is dispelling that. It's letting that all fall down, letting that all drop, letting that all melt, and see that you already are home in heaven. Humility will never ask that you remain content with littleness, but it does require that you be not content with less than greatness, which comes not of you. Your difficulty with the holy instant arises from your fixed conviction that you are not worthy of it. And what is this but a determination to be as you would make yourself? You got sick of that, literally. Like, you got sick of yourself, the way that you see yourself, the way that you have made yourself. You're sick and tired of that. Like, that has no juice to it anymore. That's why you're here and listening to this. Like, that has been enough. No. I want this to be undone. I want to realize that I'm not only worthy of this, it isn't my natural inheritance. It's like it's naturally given to me. It's the most natural thing that can possibly happen to me, to be in a holy instant. God did not create his dwelling place unworthy of him. And if you believe he cannot enter where he wills to be, you must be interfering with his will. You do not need the strength of willingness to come to you, but only from his will. You do not need the strength of willingness to come from you, but only from his will. Like, even that is taken care of. The strength of your willingness does not even come from you. It comes from his will. Because you are his son. You share the same will. So it's like that. Even your willingness does not need to come from you. The strength of your willingness is still even given to you, of course. But yes, the holy instant does not come from your little willingness alone. It is always the result of your small willingness, combined with the unlimited power of his will. So it's like you only have to point in the direction and it's recognized and taken and supported. And it's like somewhere in the course it says, like, why fly with the wings of a robin when you could actually fly with the wings of an eagle? It's like, why would you? So this has to do with that. Like, it's always the result of your small willingness combined with the unlimited power, omnipotence of his will. Yeah, unlimited power. So your little willingness, and there it is. You only have to point in the direction and you're going to be picked up, you could say, picked up by his will, the unlimited power of his will, which resides in you. You have been wrong in thinking that it is needful to prepare yourself for him. It is impossible to make arrogant preparations for holiness and not believe that it is up to you to establish the conditions for peace. So this is where your arrogance comes to the surface. Like, you want to prepare yourself so that you are ready for holiness and ready that you establish the conditions for peace and for holiness, as if you can do something about that while they are established in God. Like, you don't have to do that. No. It's like any attempt to do that is in fact in the way for you to experience peace. And of course we come to that later. So this is being confused a lot, because it seems to be that the ceremonies, that even the clothing that you wear, the right food that you eat, the right incense that you light, the right yoga moves that you can make would establish this holiness, or would establish anything that is, say, making you ready for receiving peace. Well, that would be the greatest arrogance, you could say, because it is like God has established the conditions for peace. Your holiness is guaranteed in God. You can not do anything about that. So they do not wait upon your willingness for what they are. Say they've always been there. Peace has always been there. Your holiness is inherent in you, has always been inherent in you. It is literally, you are created out of holiness. So it does not depend on your willingness. That would be arrogance to think that. See, they do not wait upon your willingness for what they are. They already are perfection. They already are holiness. They already are peace. Your willingness is needed only to make it possible to teach you what they are. So it's like, sit back and relax and let this come to you. It's really like that. Like, no, your willingness is needed only, not more than that, only to make it possible to teach you what they are, the conditions for peace. So this all, we're coming, where's the exit? So this is really great, because chapter 18 is in fact the peace chapter, like the obstacles to peace, but in fact we get the instruction of how to allow this peace to come to us. What we need to recognize as what is in the way to receive, to see that the conditions for peace are met already. It's like there's all this confusion about that you think you need to do so much because you're so guilty or you're so this and that. It's like, no. The instruction is really, you are going to receive this. It's going to be taught to you, in fact, how to receive this. It is already established, don't worry, but not in your consciousness yet. Like then you still think that you need to do something for it, and that your role in this is so important, and that you can't believe that you're, or maybe you're offended by it, that your role in it is this little. It's like you only have to come up with a little bit of willingness, and it's completely supported. That is your place, not anything else. This is not to make you little. No, this is just to say, to show you the mechanism of this. And for sure, this is also to relinquish any kind of idea that you hold about, say, having to make yourself into something in order to get there. This is the relinquishment of that whole idea. So in fact, ideas as punishment will come back, like seeing that you think that there's a punishing God, or thinking that the body has value because it's your toy. You could say it's your toy, and that's why you think it should have say a role in this whole story. So the way that I clothe myself, if I wear my white garment and put a hat on my head, or even like having my little whatever way that I in fact camouflage myself, thinking that that will contribute to my holiness, is pure arrogance and absolute confusion about what is actually going on. Now, this is good to stand still with and actually take a good look at, right? So that's why chapter 18 is coming to us. To make it easy for you, in fact. Like, look at what you have, your willingness like the power of your willingness is not even yours. Don't worry about it. So it's like even that will work. You only have to point your torch in terms of a focus. Like I want to experience that. Above all else, I want that. That was the only thing that you had to come up with. The moment that you mean it, it is given to you. It's yours, because it is already yours. Okay, so now in this last part, I think that we get to it now. It's like in this last part, you have this beautiful prayer, in fact, and you should really take that to heart, and have some honest time with yourself in letting this totally affect you, because it puts you right in the place where you can receive it. So I'll read it to you. I, who am host to God, am worthy of Him. He who established His dwelling place. Wow. Thank you. See, I cannot read it without coming into the experience of that, just like you. That's how lovely this is. Thank you. I, who am host to God, am worthy of Him. He who established His dwelling place in me, created it as He would have it be. It is not needful that I make it ready for Him, but only that I do not interfere with His plan to restore me to my own awareness of my readiness, which is eternal. In other words, I can't lose it. I need add nothing to His plan, but to receive it, I must be willing not to substitute my own plan in place of it. I, who am host to God, am worthy of Him. He who established His dwelling place in me, created it as He would have it be. It is not needful that I make it ready for Him, but only that I do not interfere with His plan to restore to me my own awareness of my readiness, which is eternal. I need add nothing to His plan, but to receive it, I must be willing not to substitute my own in place of it. And that is all, you could say, and that is all. So this is a realization, and this is literally like, stay with this until you realize what it says, and you're literally entering into an unholy instant. This is exactly it. This is like a portal prayer, you could say. It's a key. It literally opens, say, the exit of Yadi. It is like an entrance into the experience of the holy instant. So this is what I call a very, very advanced instruction, and in fact entering into your own holiness. Yeah, and that's an like that was already established, but not in your consciousness. Now this is the key, to open that up in your consciousness. It is going to be opened up for you. So I love that totally. That is so beautiful. Okay, so talking about the holy instant. So thank you for being here with me in this. Like, thank you so much for allowing me to express this, and in fact invite you to say, be in this with me, because my recognition of it is your recognition of it. That's so lovely. Now you see that oh yeah, there's not so much I have to do. I just not interfering with the plan. Like I should not interfere with the plan of God. That's one thing that I shouldn't do. And I don't have to do anything in that sense too. I don't have to prepare myself in that sense that I thought I had to. Like all that can go. Now I'm just, in fact, in a total, say, continuation of being willing, being willing, being willing, being willing, and being willing, being willing. My focus is right here. No, I don't want anything but the peace of God. Yes, in any situation, I want the peace of God. Show me what it means to be, to receive the peace of God in this situation. It's like a total practice of forgiveness. No, I don't want anything else. No, I don't need to defend myself. No, my plan will never work. I'm letting it go. You know, like this. So it's like I come into a space of, in fact, continuous, like high expectancy of what will come to me. Not that I can do anything about that, like not that it's by my power. Or, no, I'm just willing and open. Oh, here it opens up. Here's another opportunity. Oh my God, I had no idea. Thank you, God. You know, like this. So there's a light-heartedness connected to it, and a practice of staying right here, not interfering, not standing in the way. No, just like keep having my torch pointed at peace is my goal. That's all. Great practice. So to share some words with from Master Teacher, he will continue with that in his very own way. In fact, being in that continuous experience of, yes, peace is the only thing I want. And I give that away. I teach that. I demonstrate that in every possible way. Now here are some examples of the possibilities in which that can come to us.
Other people outside of me are dying, but I'm okay. Who's to stop you from doing that? No one. Okay, death is a decision. Can you hear this? All you'd have to say to me is, I don't want to die. Try that. Say, I'm not going to die anymore. Say that. Hey, this is Angel's teaching. This angel has an awakened mind, has gone through a process. So the show we're taking on the road is swear not to die. Okay, what you just did ensured you eternal life because life is eternal. Okay, you can quarrel about that with yourself, but it'll be to no avail. Why? You made the one true statement that it's necessary for you to make. If time is death, eternity knows not of time. Time knows not of eternity. Time has to be death because it's born. Anything born has to die. The quicker you can do it, the more you can see there is no time. The whole teaching is to be born and die each moment. That's the holy instant. Now, the unholy instant is your stringing together of your dead associations. The holy instant is the accumulation of a new you through the declaration of your reality, which will what? Shorten time because it cleans up your previous perceptual associations that have accumulated in your own genetic, what you call your I Ching, what you call your Akashic record. You search your Akashic record for a solution to your problem. It's not there. It's literally not there. You're caught in time of thought form association. You say, well, I went into an astral plane and I was instructed by a Hindu priest. What the hell good is that going to do you? He can't tell you anything you don't want to hear. The one thing that you're very afraid to hear is that God is real and that you're actually in heaven. That's why you're afraid of God. Since you have to defend yourself, God appears to be outside of you. You have to project your wrath onto Him and make Him a wrathful God from which you protect yourself. It's crazy, but you do it. What am I here to tell you? Quit doing it. Stop doing that. Don't do that anymore. Stop doing that. Well, it's better than you were yesterday. Coming along a little bit there. I've never seen anything like that. Some of you guys get really sunk down into this, you know. I wonder, how, what's this all about? Why? Your condition is to defend yourself. Like that, oh, just like that. Well, what do you mean by that? That's what you do. If you defend yourself, I must be attacking you by what I say. The only way you can know is I'm not attacking you is not by not defending yourself from this. This seems far too outlandish for you to be so. You'd much rather write upon all your prescription for the answer to your own mind, and you're wrong. I am giving you a completely outlandish, insane solution. Okay, whole mind has to appear insane to perceptual mind because it has no guidance system. It simply declares love, and that's what you're deadly afraid of. Why? You'd lose your associate consciousnesses. The things that you love would live forever. There's one thing you don't want, the things you love to live forever. You really can't stand them fundamentally. They are attractions of your hate and disassociation from other thought forms. Everybody hear this? The reason you guys don't want to live forever is because it's finally very painful for you. You think that eternity is a long time. It has nothing to do with time at all. So you can hardly wait to die finally to get out of the pain and tension that you're in. I'm not going to let you die anymore. Now what are you going to do? You can insist that you're going to, but I know you perfectly in my mind. I know you intimately within the last 200 years. We know each other. All of us are what you would term quick reassociations. If you guys look around, you'll see consciousnesses that you have been in association with intensely in the last 200 years, and you know it. You just keep writing different scripts for yourself and hold yourself in a particular coordination of what you want that consciousness to be. What are you going to do with me? How did I get stuck into this then? Now you really got a problem. Why? I'm making you address your own problem, and you don't want to do that. You're the cause of this, and therefore you're the solution. You would much rather share sickness and death with me as you have projected me, so that I can give you a value in association with our mutual bodies. Don't tell me you don't, because that's what a human being is. Not only that, but it is expressed as love and is love. Dear one, I'm not trying to take your love away from you. I'm just trying to give you whole love rather than discriminatory death associations. That requires the confession that everything that you love gets sick and dies. Is that a true statement? Don't give me this as going through a transition and everything is going to be okay. That's senseless. Jesus in the Course says, it's a strange idea that somehow a part of you would die and a part of you would be real and go on. That's absolutely senseless. If anything dies, everything dies. Wouldn't that be so? Okay, there is no death. How can I come to know that? Okay, bring your associate consciousness, which you define as a body, into a whole thought form relationship. This is called in the Course in Miracles the face of Christ. These consciousnesses who are undergoing this transformation are literally having bright images of their own thought form associations. They may see your face, for example, as the Christ. The practice that we'll do this afternoon is to look through, this is the Course, to look through the consciousness that you're sitting. If you guys want to do this in therapy, you're starting to do it now because you can feel this opening up in you. Well, we begin to look through each other rather than establish our reality here. Okay? As long as you defend yourself in thought form, our reality has to be established at what we would call an aesthetic distance between us. This is pure Course now. We have thought forms that we bring together and project from us and mingle in some sort of pool of consciousness and defend our own associations with ourselves. We now have what? Maintained a distance between ourselves and associated ourselves by our own projections. I am showing you that if you will release your opinion of me, you will discover that through your own creative mind, you have extended me from your wholeness, and since you are whole, The consciousness that you're identifying with is whole. Okay? This is a process of the relinquishment of judgment. Okay? Now, my mind, which is in spirit, what we call the opening here, only sees you, Jesus calls this looking through, see? I'm only seeing you as a whole consciousness in my association. I'm not thinking the way you're beginning to release it now. Oh, I wonder why you're wearing your earrings and your gown. This is what you do. How did you get here? Why are you sitting there? Who are you? Who does your hair? I'm not doing that. Okay? I have absolutely no concern about what your name is. When you do your workshops in this, stop wearing identification cards, for goodness sake. What you're doing is condemning your brother to death before you even meet him. Hi, I'm John. How long you been doing the course? Well, I've been doing the course for 7 or 8 years. I'm a doctor of ploopy-doop. And oh, is that so? Oh, that's nice. What do you study? Well, I study the glaciers on the moons of Jupiter. Really? Well, that's interesting. I studied the beetles in the Brazilian jungle. It's all just blah. What are you doing? Keeping on to your own identities. You're holding on to your own self-assertions in order to keep your identity. But I'm a great threat to you because I only love you, and boy, if one thing you're not going to take, it's that. There's some lovely sentence in the Course. Jesus says, boy, if love gets too close to you, look out. You're going to back away from that. There has to be a justification for love. Your mind is a justification for your limited love associations. The idea that you are whole and beautiful in God's sight is impossible for you because your identity is based on not being that. Okay? You don't have anything to say about it. So let's give up your own self-identities in these holy instances, and then we can come to know who we are. I didn't mean to get into a talk. Yeah, I don't know what I never know what I'm going to do. Is this being recorded? Are you guys still with us out there? This tape will be available at God's The first 3 years after my awakening, and still, I wouldn't allow any sort of taping. Awakened minds have a natural aversion to associate judgment, because this kind of talk is inherently crucifixal. I'm presenting you with the reality of you, and there's a defense that you have built in not to hear the simple teachings of Jesus Christ, or what I'm saying to you. In the Course, Jesus says you crucify the Christ each moment by your refusal to admit your own Christhood. You literally kill yourself, which is exactly what you've been doing. Don't do that anymore, okay? And you'll be whole and free. Okay? It's not too early for you to do this now. You stop looking for the second coming outside yourself. The second coming is you changing your mind, if you want to use it in the religious vernacular. It's impossible that you are not both the Christ and the Antichrist. The part about the Christ doesn't disturb you as much as the part about the Antichrist, but if you're not the Antichrist, who is? Can you understand that you can't be opposed to anything in reality? That all opposition is false? That all negativeness, that is, a disassociation from anything, is a declaration of less than wholeness and is literally impossible. You cannot be separate from reality. Never negate. Never. All negation is an opinion. The whole teaching is my teaching. I agree with everybody. Don't defend yourself in any regard. Have no opinions about everything. Be weak. Be meek. Be poor in spirit. Step back. Be number two. Let the world go. Don't succeed. Give up stores. Well, that's an impossible message. I don't want to hear that. Don't. Is this a message that you must hear and practice? Yeah. Now, watch your next response. Well, nobody here does that. That's what you're going to do. You're doing it right now. Well, I know, but all around me are these images, and certainly none of these other consciousnesses are doing that, and never will. They literally never will. Why are you trying to change the effects? All of your counseling is an attempt to change the consciousness that's sitting out there. The practice is to change you. Do you see? You project it outside of you, and you demand of that consciousness sitting there that he change his mind. That's the craziest thing I ever heard of. It's impossible. There's no way you can do it. I know I'm teaching in your weakness and your strength, and in your total weakness is your salvation. Why? You're in competition with God, and you will not succeed. You think that you will, but you won't. You can't, because you are perfect. You can say to him 1,000,000 times, how did this happen? I say to you, what difference does it make how it happens? Wouldn't you rather have it not be so? Why would you want to get cancer? I'm really curious. And you say to me, well, I don't want to get it, right? Well, why do you get it then? And you're going to say to me, I can't do anything about it. And I'll say, that's crazy, that's absurd. I'm telling you, it's crazy and absurd for you to get cancer. I don't very often do this. I just straightened something out in you. Did you feel that? Okay. Now, that's a little plus that goes along. Yeah, you can feel that too. That's a new frame of reference that I gave you in regard to your cancer. Oh, I don't have cancer. Yes, you do. If anyone has cancer, you do. And you had it. You don't have it anymore. You know that you had decided to die of cancer? That's crazy. Don't do that. That's fact. And you know it, and I know it. But now it's not going to happen. And you say, well, maybe I'll die of something else. No, it's too late. In the teacher's manual, they say, what's the difference between healing and atonement? They're the same thing. If you're whole in any regard, you're whole completely. You keep dividing up your own sicknesses. It's crazy. Am I a healer? I'm the greatest healer that ever came into the earth. I'm the only one. You guys can't hear that. I don't care whether you hear it or not. If there's only one sickness, there's only one solution. That has to be me. Well, what's your salvation? Believe me. You'd have to believe me. Obviously, that would be the requirement. Why? I'm a projection of your denial. Is it really that simple? Of course it's that simple. How could it, if I'm only a product of your own mind, literally all you have to do is declare your brother to be the Christ. This is Course now. Do you guys do Course in Miracles here? Well, I'm giving you the Course in Miracles. Do you like that or not? You're my Savior. Yes. It doesn't make it makes absolutely no difference whether you think you're my Savior or not. I'm certain that you are. In that, I'm redeemed. Thank you for saving me from this. I don't care whether you're the cause of it or the effect of it. Why? The cause and effect aren't apart. I could care less whether you believe that Jesus Christ wrote the Course in Miracles. Remember that Jesus Christ is the Course in Miracles. He is not an idea about it. Jesus Christ can be a separate conceptual observation that you have about Jesus in your own mind. If you do that, then you have to separate the Jesus that speaks from the Jesus in what Jesus says. That's absurd. If cause and effect are not apart, a whole mind is what it says. You attempt to judge, you're doing it right now, you attempt to judge what I tell you based on how you've constructed me. That's crazy. You've got your cause and effect apart. What's his name? Wapnick. He's very determined to give the previous consciousness an association of 2,000 years. He can well do that, but the only conclusion he can ever arrive at is that man, Jesus, is man ascended. That you, Margaret the Christ, are Margaret in sin or sickness, unreal, going through a transformation and coming whole. That process is singular. There aren't multiple separations, guys. How absurd. anything what would be the difference if you're separated from the whole? Why do you want to have a multitude of differences in relationship to what you are? Don't do that. That's the way you hang on to your illusion. You think there are degrees of, you can't tell the difference between happiness and pain and sickness and that. So don't do it anymore. Okay.
So thank you so much for joining today. I'm going to play a song and wishing you a wonderful day. Thank you for your presence here. It was absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much for showing up, for listening to this, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you so much.